We are going to know incredibly soon whether or not Microsoft can acquire Activision Blizzard, because the FTC has done something that will expedite it quite quickly. Let's dive into what's happened right now, because they're going to court a lot sooner than we thought. So the long story short, the FTC has filed an injunction that would prevent Microsoft from buying Activision Blizzard should it be allowed to go through. Here are some dates from Ethan Gatch, who tweeted, Microsoft was right. Forcing the FTC's hand is definitely expediting the legal fight. Yes. So Xbox response by 6/16. FTC follow-up by 6/20, court hearing 6/22. So we're going to know by the end of this month if this deal is dead or if it's going to go through. Now, I have a whole bunch of information lined up to share with you today, but this video is sponsored. So real quick, we're going to hear from our sponsor, and then we're going to come right back and get into the news.
Real quick, a word from our sponsor, Factor. Factor has ready-to-eat gourmet meals that give you a hassle-free way to eat healthy, and the food is chef-prepared and delivered fresh right to your door. Tailored to your lifestyle, they have 30 dietitian-designed meals for keto, vegan, or calorie-smart options, and more. It's all premium science-backed nutrition, as they are prepared by a chef and dietitian approved. You will be getting a healthy and super tasty meal packed with premium science-backed nutritional quality. You get hassle-free meals and nutrition coaching. You just heat and eat your meals, meaning no prep required. That gives you more time to focus on your health goals, and you can chat with a registered dietitian for free. Want to bulk up or work on weight management? They can help you out and revamp your diet. Not only do they do this, but there are add-ons like mains, sides, shakes, smoothies, and even desserts to help you make the perfect diet plan. So eating well and snacking deliciously, absolutely doable with Factor. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for Factor today and start eating healthy with zero hassle. Just click the link in the description or pin comment below.
So back to the news. Here's what Brad Smith said about the filing by the FTC. Today's action by the FTC to file suit in our Activision case in federal court should accelerate the decision-making process. This benefits everyone. We always prefer constructive and amicable paths with governments, but have confidence in our case and look forward to presenting it. This is going to go to court. Microsoft feels very strongly about it, and it would seem that I don't know why the FTC did this. I'm a little surprised, because they could have drug it out to August. They have all these people subpoenaed, but now they're like, no, we want to do it earlier. Microsoft says, yeah, okay, let's do it. Because either way, Microsoft's going to save a couple $2 billion if they're able to it's like $500 million. It's some insane amount of money if they stop before this certain deadline. So I imagine they welcome this. And if this goes through, then they can either wait for the CMA thing, or they just close the deal and they just deal with the CMA stuff at a later point, right? Anyway, here's what Rick Hogue said when this news broke. And I couldn't, you can probably hear I'm still getting over something right now. But anyway, here's what Rick Hogue said. There's no question that federal court is a more advantageous venue for Microsoft. The only real big question is why the FTC decided to move now. They could have done this at any time. He quote tweeted himself down here. The main paragraph describing the FTC's reasoning is almost completely redacted, but I believe Microsoft convinced them they were going to close. Not that I believe it. And the FTC flinched. Microsoft has been making some comments about what's been going on with the CMA lately, and they've been looking at ways where they can, separate the two companies in the UK. And because the UK's CMA and the FTC have been chit-chatty so much, I have to wonder if the FTC is like, oh, we got to do something to stop this, even though their case is weak. And that's what Microsoft wants, honestly. They're like, all right, bring it to court. Because if they lose in the CMA can still go through appeal, right? There's still a chance there. But if the FTC succeeds in blocking the case, it's dead. That's it. It's done. Like, if the FTC says you can't close, they can't close. Like, that's the end of what they've been trying to accomplish here. Steven Sotillo tweeted the following: New, Microsoft is asking the judge overseeing the FTC's request for a preliminary injunction against the Activision deal to speed things up. A lot. Says a hearing on the PI will determine the whole deal, proposes doing it all in June ahead of the July expiration of its bid. As history shows, the court's ruling on the FTC's request for a preliminary injunction will decide the fate of this transaction, particularly in light of the termination date of July 18, 2023. If defendants prevail, the FTC's longstanding and unbroken practice has been to walk away from its challenge. On the other hand, if the court grants a preliminary injunction, it will effectively block the transaction because the FTC's process is glacial and one no substantial business transaction could ever survive. So if they go to court with this thing, if they go to court and they lose, it's done. It's dead deal. And it's like I said from the beginning that it goes through, and this case will determine it. And it's going to be happening in 8-9 days. Like it's going to be happening very soon. Totillo continued on with the other tweets. If you read the excerpt, you'll see that Microsoft is telling the judge that should the FTC get a preliminary injunction, the deal is likely dead. An update, the FTC files a notice of intent to oppose Microsoft's request for an expedited hearing. It says Microsoft's claim of a July 18th deadline is moot because the merger has already been blocked in the UK. And I believe there was an update on that one also. So this is from Foss Patents. He just tweeted this, so I'm just going to read it. But there was an update. Microsoft and Activision Blizzard have scored a first procedural win over the FTC, and the FTC now argues that because of the CMA block, it is actually not all that urgent, contradicting itself. So it's urgent enough to file the suit. I think I see the point he's making. It's urgent enough to file the suit. Oh, but it's not that urgent because the CMA already blocked it. No. No. You either want to bring it to federal court and get this done, or you don't. So you don't get to have it both ways, right? The order. Over the FTC's declared intent to oppose the proposal, the court overwhelmingly granted what Microsoft and Activision proposed. It will be potentially a 5-day PI hearing, or 4.5 days to be more precise. The evidentiary hearing will commence on Thursday, June 22nd at 8:30 a.m. and will continue on June 23rd, 2023, 27th, 28th, and 29th as needed. The court anticipates each court day will end around 3 p.m. Judge Corley signed the related order, even though she was originally not going to be at the courthouse this week. There will be no live stream. One will have to go to the courthouse to follow in person. The FTC's unsuccessful objection. The FTC gave notice of its intent to oppose instead of filing a full-blown opposition brief. The FTC was not willing to file a joint case management statement with the court the same day, Wednesday, complained that Microsoft and Activision Blizzard had not communicated with the FTC before bringing that urgent motion and are now trying to leverage the CMA block. They wanted to also respond to Microsoft and Activision Blizzard's claim that time is of the essence because the deal has a termination date of July 18th, with the FTC arguing this ignores the fact that the UK Competition Markets Authority has issued orders barring the transaction. But in their own TRO motion, the FTC told the court that Microsoft and Activision Blizzard had indicated they might just close the deal as early as Friday. So the FTC is contradicting itself here. That's interesting. So the FTC heard that Microsoft was going to push it through and just close the deal Friday. So we could have been hearing what I think it's Wednesday on the 16th. We could have been hearing that Microsoft just decided to close it and they don't care about the FTC. So the FTC brought it to federal court. This is going to be a very interesting case. The only effect of the FTC's objection was that instead of asking the parties for a joint case management statement, which would not have been all that joint, it would have been one document in which either side would have explained its views in separate paragraphs. Judge Corley decided to make an order on the trial schedule right away. She also ordered, as Microsoft and Activision Blizzard requested, a pre-hearing status conference on Wednesday, June 21st at 2 p.m., and that the parties would have to file their proposed findings of fact and conclusions of law, i.e. an outline of their arguments, and what they proposed the court should decide on Tuesday, 6/20. on or before the close of business, i.e. not midnight like other timelines in that district. Microsoft and Activision Blizzard wanted at least 5 days, and now it's a maximum of 4.5 days based on the current order, though she could always extend the trial. And there won't be a joint case management statement, which the FTC said it didn't want to file, at least not the same day, because the court has already made its decision, making such statement unnecessary. Very, very interesting developments here with the case, because, you know, we've been covering this for so long, and now it's just going to end very, very quickly. I have a few other videos populated here, so I'm going to put on my old headphones that everybody yells at me for wearing. Let's just see how it goes. See if my desktop audio ends up working for a change. Here's the first one. This is from Post Up. Post Up posted this
June 13th. I'm Zoe Thomas for the Wall Street Journal. The Federal Trade Commission has sought a temporary restraining order to block Microsoft from buying video game publisher Activision Blizzard for $75 billion.
Yeah, we know that.
The regulator has said the deal would give Microsoft too much control over the gaming industry. The order still needs a judge's approval to prevent the companies from finalizing the deal next month. With me to discuss this is our reporter Dave Michaels, who covers financial enforcement.
Right. What you got, Dave?
This isn't the first step that the FTC has taken to block Microsoft's purchase of Activision. So what's gone down so far?
Well, the FTC previously, back in December, filed a formal challenge.
All right, we already know all that. So basically, they don't want the companies to merge because it would be too big. And then there was a separate clip here from Post Up.
The Federal Trade Commission filing an injunction to block Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard, seeking to prevent the transaction from proceeding before the deal's July 18th deadline. For more on this, we want to bring in Aaron Glick, TD Cowen's merger arbitrage specialist. And Aaron, the company, Microsoft, has said that, look, they think this is actually a better situation for the deal, that it's more likely to proceed under these conditions. What do you think?
Well, it's definitely a positive development. I think Koch wrote in a letter to his employees last night that was the case, and he's right. So what this definitively does is provide more certainty around timing. So
we have the dates. They're saying that it's going to be positive. Let's look up that Koch article. News, Koch writes to employees. Oh, come on. Recent past week. Koch letter. Damn it. Sorry. I forgot to bring this one up. Both Microsoft and Activision said the FTC's deal-blocking attempt would allow them to state their case before a judge, as Activision CEO Bobby Kotick wrote in a letter to employees. We welcome the opportunity to present our case in federal court. Microsoft's president and vice chairman Brad Smith said in a statement on Monday, "We believe accelerating it is good news." Everybody thinks that this thing going through faster is good news because nobody's wasting any time anymore. Everybody just wants to know if it's going to go through or it's not, including Microsoft, including the FTC, including everybody. So the FTC has really put themselves in an interesting position. I'm just looking at the other tweets here. There's no question that the federal venue is very advantageous. Joseph McKay said, "We know the wheels of law turn over slowly, but what should we expect for a timeline of this move?" Richard says, "Fast, up or down, it should be very quick." We will know the fate of this case by the end of this trial, is the long and the short of it. Very interesting development, very interesting move by the FTC, in my opinion. And I think if the FTC is still presenting the case that they presented, I mean, unless they add the cloud gaming, I would bet money that they work with the CMA, or they at least look at what the CMA has written to add a cloud gaming concern to their list of issues. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. This is a huge development for the case. I'm very excited to see what happens in the next few days. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to become a member, I post all these with 0 ads. Well, that baked in one will probably still be there. Sorry, members, but the other ones on YouTube, I take them off. So hit that join button if you want to become a member. Thank you so much for all the members for supporting. I'm going to get out of here. If you want to see my previous video, check out this one. I'm starting to feel a little bit better enough to speak. And I have like 3 videos that I want to make. So hopefully I get back in that cadence that I've been telling you I'm going to get to. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now, everybody.